Let me paint a picture for you. It is a regular Tuesday evening. You are sitting on your couch. Nothing dramatic is happening. No emergency, no crisis, just a regular quiet evening at home. And out of nowhere, maybe you are scrolling through your phone. Maybe you just paid a bill. Maybe you just checked your bank account for the 5th time today. That feeling hits. That specific heavy feeling that sits right in the middle of your chest. The one that whispers, I do not know how I am going to get out of this. Not a panic attack, not a breakdown. Just that quiet, persistent, exhausting feeling of being trapped by money that you owe. Debt that has been there so long it has started to feel permanent, like a piece of furniture you never chose but cannot figure out how to move. And here is what makes it worse. You are not even doing anything wrong right now. You are not out spending money you do not have. You're just sitting there. But the debt is there too, and it does not care that you are trying. It just sits there collecting interest and growing quietly while you try to figure out your next move. If you have ever felt that feeling, that specific quiet desperation of not knowing where to even start, this video is for you. Because today we are going to talk about exactly how to get out of debt. Step by step. No magic, no gimmicks. Just a real clear plan that actually works if you follow it. And we are going to start from the very beginning, right from scratch. Because sometimes that is exactly where you need to go back to. Step 1. Stop the bleeding first. Before you pay off a single dollar of debt, the very first thing you need to do is stop making the debt bigger. Because here is what happens to a lot of people. They focus so hard on paying off what they owe that they forget to stop adding to it at the same time. It is like trying to bail water out of a boat with a giant hole still in the bottom. You can bail as fast as you want, but the water keeps coming in. So the very first step is plugging the hole. Stop adding new debt. Put the credit cards somewhere you cannot easily access them. Turn off the save payment information on your shopping apps. Delete the apps that make it too easy to spend. Not forever necessarily, just for now, while you're in the thick of getting out. Because every new dollar of debt you add while you're trying to pay off old debt is making the whole process harder and longer. This is not about punishment. This is not about never enjoying your life. This is about giving yourself a fighting chance. You cannot climb out of a hole if someone keeps digging it deeper while you are climbing. Step 2. Know exactly what you owe. This step is the one most people avoid the longest, and I completely understand why. Looking at the full picture of your debt feels terrifying. Like if you do not look at it directly, it is somehow less real. But here's the truth. The debt is exactly as real whether you look at it or not. The only difference is that looking at it gives you the power to do something about it. So sit down, and I mean really sit down, make a cup of tea, set aside 30 minutes, and write out every single debt you have. Everyone. Credit cards, student loans, car payment, personal loans, money owed to family or friends, medical bills, every single thing. For each debt, write down 3 things: the total amount owed, the interest rate, and the minimum monthly payment. This list is going to feel uncomfortable to make. It might be the first time you have ever seen all of your debt in one place at the same time. And that is okay. The discomfort is part of the process. Because right now, you are doing something that most people never do. You are looking your debt directly in the face. And that takes real courage. Step 3. Make sure you have a small emergency fund first. Before you start aggressively attacking debt, this step might surprise you. You need to put a small emergency fund in place first. Just a small one. $500 to $1,000 set aside and untouched. Here is why. One of the biggest reasons people get deeper into debt when they are trying to get out is emergencies. The car breaks down, a medical bill arrives, something unexpected happens. And because they have put every available dollar toward debt payments, they have nothing to cover the emergency except, you guessed it, the credit card, which adds more debt, undoing weeks or months of progress in one afternoon. The small emergency fund is not a savings goal. It is a shield. It exists so that when life happens, and life will happen, you do not have to reach for the credit card. You reach for the emergency fund instead. Pay it back, refill it, and keep moving forward. Step 4. Choose your debt payoff strategy. Now we get to the actual paying off part. And there are 2 main strategies that genuinely work. And you need to pick the one that matches how your brain works. Because the best debt payoff strategy is not the one that saves you the most money mathematically. It is the one you will actually stick to. The first strategy is called the debt avalanche. This one makes the most mathematical sense. You list all your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest. You make minimum payments on everything except the one with the highest interest rate. On that one, you throw every extra dollar you can find. When that debt is gone, you move every dollar that was going to it onto the next highest interest rate debt. You work through the list from highest to lowest interest rate. This method saves you the most money in interest over time. If you are someone who is motivated by numbers and logic, this method is going to feel deeply satisfying. The second strategy is called the debt snowball. This one was made famous by Dave Ramsey, and it works differently. Instead of ordering your debts by interest rate, you order them by balance, smallest to largest. You make minimum payments on everything except the smallest balance. On the smallest balance, you throw every extra dollar you can. When that smallest debt is completely gone, you take everything you were paying on it and add it to the minimum payment on the next smallest debt. The snowball builds momentum. Every time you completely pay off a debt, even a small one, something psychological happens. You feel it. You feel the win. You feel the progress. And that feeling is incredibly powerful when you are in the middle of what can feel like an endless process. Neither strategy is wrong. The avalanche saves more money. The snowball creates more momentum. Pick the one that sounds like you, and then commit to it completely. Step 5. Find extra money to throw at the debt. Minimum payments keep you in debt for a very long time. The credit card companies design minimum payments that way. They are calculated to keep you paying interest for as long as possible. So if you are only making minimum payments, you are essentially paying rent on money you borrowed. You are not actually getting out. To actually get out, you need to find extra money to throw at the debt on top of the minimums. And I know what you are thinking. If I had extra money, I would not be in debt in the first place. But hear me out. Extra money is not always about earning more, though that helps. Sometimes it is about finding money that is already in your life that is currently going somewhere less important. Go back through your expenses. We have talked about this before. The subscriptions you do not use, the daily purchases that add up, the food delivery fees, the small spending that never feels like real spending until you add it up. Redirect that money toward debt instead. Then look at whether you can increase your income even temporarily. A side hustle for 6 months, selling things you do not need, taking on extra hours if that is available to you. Even an extra $100 or $200 a month thrown consistently at your debt accelerates the payoff timeline dramatically, more than most people realize. Step 6. Negotiate your interest rates. This is the step that almost nobody takes because it feels uncomfortable, and most people do not know it is even possible. But it is. You can call your credit card company and ask for a lower interest rate, especially if you have been a customer for a while, have been making payments consistently, and have not missed anything recently. You pick up the phone, you ask to speak to someone about your account. You tell them you have been a loyal customer, you are committed to paying off your balance, and you would like to discuss whether there is any possibility of a reduced interest rate. Sometimes they say no, but sometimes, more often than you would think, they say yes. Or they offer you a temporary reduction. Or they suggest a hardship program you did not know existed. A lower interest rate means more of every payment goes toward the actual balance instead of the interest. It makes every dollar you pay more powerful, and it costs you nothing but a slightly uncomfortable phone call. Step 7. Look into consolidation if it makes sense. Debt consolidation means taking multiple debts and combining them into one single debt, ideally at a lower interest rate than the average of what you are currently paying. This can be done through a personal loan, a balance transfer credit card with a promotional 0% interest period, or a debt consolidation program. The benefit of consolidation is simplicity and potentially lower interest. Instead of managing 5 different payments to 5 different creditors every month, you have one payment, one interest rate, one focus. But, and this is important, consolidation only works if you stop adding new debt at the same time. A lot of people consolidate their credit card debt, feel immediate relief, and then slowly run the credit cards back up again. Now they have the consolidation loan and the new credit card debt. They have made things worse while thinking they made them better. Consolidation is a tool. Like any tool, it is only useful if you use it correctly. Step 8. Protect your progress and celebrate small wins. Getting out of debt is not a sprint. For most people, it takes months, sometimes years. And one of the biggest reasons people give up is not because the plan is not working. It is because the process feels so long that progress becomes invisible. So you need to make the progress visible. Track it. Write it down. Create a simple debt tracker, even just a piece of paper on your wall, where you can see the numbers going down. Because watching the numbers go down is one of the most motivating things you will ever experience in a financial journey. Celebrate every debt you pay off completely, every single one, even the small ones, because every debt you fully eliminate is a monthly payment that is now freed up. A creditor that no longer has a claim on your future income, that is worth acknowledging. That is worth feeling good about. And protect your progress fiercely. When unexpected money comes in, a bonus, a tax refund, a gift, any windfall, resist the urge to spend it. Put it directly towards the debt. Because a single unexpected lump sum payment can sometimes cut months off your payoff timeline. It is one of the most powerful accelerators available to you, and most people spend it on something they have forgotten about 6 months later. Step 9. Change the relationship, not just the balance. This is the step that nobody puts on the list, but it might be the most important one. Because paying off debt is not just a financial exercise. It is a psychological one. And if you pay off all your debt without changing the habits, the mindset, and the relationship with money that created the debt in the first place, the debt will come back. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. The real work of getting out of debt is asking yourself the honest questions. How did I get here? What habits contributed to this? What was I using spending for that? I needed to find a better way to meet. What does money mean to me and why? These are not comfortable questions, but they are the questions that actually make the difference between someone who gets out of debt once and someone who gets out of debt and stays out. Because the goal is not just a zero balance. The goal is a completely different relationship with money. One built on intention, awareness, and genuine security rather than appearances, emotions, and avoidance. Here is what I need you to hear before this video ends. There is a way out. I know it does not feel like that right now. I know the number feels too big, and the progress feels too slow, and the whole thing feels impossible. But I need you to understand something. Every single person who has ever gotten out of debt felt exactly the way you feel right now at some point in their journey. Every single one. The feeling of there being no way out is part of the process. It is not evidence that there is no way out. It is just evidence that you have not found the path yet. But now you have the path. 8 steps. Not magic, not easy, but completely real and completely possible. Start with step 1. Just step 1. Stop the bleeding. And then take it from there. Because here is the truth about debt. It got built one small decision at a time. And it gets paid off exactly the same way. One payment at a time, 1 month at a time, one step at a time, until one day, and that day will come, you open your banking app and the number is 0, and nothing will feel quite like that moment. Nothing. I am Zara, and we are just getting started.